Urban Meyer, the man is wilding. So I'll ask a different question than I asked yesterday. What is the what is to blame right now for the Jaguars being ass? And the second part of the
They team.
question is Urban Meyer getting fired this season, in the middle of the season, or in the off season, or at all? So two-part question.
I'm gonna say that the reason is because they team ain't that good. Like they're gonna have to draft well, build through the draft. 'Cause like it's kind of like when Pete Carroll first got the Seahawks, they weren't good at his
That's true.
very first
But
year.
they
They
looked like a
drafted
mini
and they
goaded team though, right? Did they make the playoffs his first
they
year
looked.
or was it his second year? No, I know it was his second. All right.
I think it was, but they looked better with Pete Carroll. But he also started with a little more on his team than what the Jags have. Because if you think about it, they got rid of Ramsey, they got rid of Fournette. Like they don't have any of the Jags that
Yeah.
we know that was good. And you got a rookie quarterback who kind of been used to success. So everybody knew he was gonna struggle because when you ain't never been through adversity and then you go to the NFL and that's your first bit of adversity,
Tough.
that's tough.
You got to be built different.
So they letting him make his mistakes, get it out of his system. So I don't feel like because on top of that, the fan base would kind of rebel against them if they did that. Because you gotta, like I
That's
said,
fair.
no, you gotta give a guy a year. Like you can't go into any sorry organization and like guys ain't gonna just magically become better because you
True.
arrive.
This is what I will say, cause I feel like this is the thing about Urban Meyer. Cause also with the thing that obviously everybody knows, like this week he roasted the whole team and shit, called them losers when he hasn't really won in the NFL. Like, fine, he's a winner in NCAA, but like a lot of people are, and then don't succeed in the NFL. So it doesn't really mean nothing. So it's weird for him to call his staff losers. That being said, I feel like there's other things that I'm sure Urban Meyer exactly, and this is not the first like mess up this year by Urban Meyer. He got caught at the bar with the with the shorty and fucking right. And now the latest thing I seen, it was a tweet by Chris Johnson, and he said it's messed up that you're just gonna bench James Robinson after one fumble. And this is the thing for me. It's like that for me. It might be small for some people. For me, it's huge. It's like, bro, James Robinson is probably the most relevant player on the Jaguars right now. He's the one. Just because they kicked out Minshew, because Minshew, it would have been Minshew then James Robinson. But since they kicked out Gardner Minshew, now James Robinson, he's the one that has done the most. He's the player in the Jaguars organization right now that has done the most for the Jaguars, even more than Urban Meyer as a coach. So for him to treat him that way, for one fumble you bench him when he's one of the leaders. You should come in and like respect that guy at least. He was like undrafted when he came in and just went crazy. Like, bro, that shit to me is crazy, and that to me is a sign that Urban Meyer probably won't last. And it explains a lot of the other shit. Why he can't win a locker room, why all that other stuff, because he doesn't understand little shit. And this is kind of the kind of stuff you can do in the NCAA. You can show up, this guy's a stud, but I have my recruit, gonna put you on the bench, let my recruit go off. You can do that in NCAA, and he can't do you know what I mean? It'll go over him smoother or whatever. But I feel like that's the reason Urban Meyer won't succeed.
But if you think about it, Steph, like I'll use my real life experience. Like when I was in high school, I had a coach named Coach Scarlett.
I can already tell.
And, I was I was pretty much our premier, I guess you would say, edge rusher.
How much finesse moves?
But he would fucking for like the littlest stuff. He would go, and Mike can attest to this. He would go in on me. Like I could miss it. Let's just say I missed a sack and somebody else came and cleaned it up. And, still ended up in a sack. He would go off on me about wrapping up and stuff like I guess to build a culture of even my highest guy can be held accountable. So I'm not saying that's why he did it, but I'm saying that could be a reason why. Because he's saying, it's a running back. Think about it. Travis Etienne about to come back. And if, let's say Travis fumble and he get on him, but you didn't get on Robinson for fumbling. Now he but he was fumbling. You ain't say nothing to him.
I agree
So
100% with what you just said. If that's the situation, he's benching him because he plans to do that with everybody. Perfect. That makes perfect sense.
yeah,
But if he fucking, he fucking benches Robinson and then Travis Etienne comes here, drops a pass, fumbles, and then Travis Etienne's still in the game, I'm gonna be like, yo, it's a problem.
100% agree.
So, the Blessed League Jaguars, what's he saying? The boy Wook. He's sitting at 4-2 right now, doing a little bit of work, second place in the AFC South. He had started 4-0, and after a tough battle versus the Ravens and the Texans, so two tough games, he is now 4-2. I mean, there isn't much to say about him right now. He's going off with Trevor Lawrence, very good passer rating, a lot of touchdowns, not a lot of picks, and shout out to Wu. So there's not really any takes to be made, so we'll just give him a little shout out real quick, and we're looking forward to what you will do this season, Luke.